Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live with Janome. I'll be right with you. I'm just getting my comments up. So if you're out there, you can let me know where you're coming from. Or if you just want to put a thumbs up or a little heart, that's fine too. So I know who's out there. Hi, Donna. Welcome. Let's see who else we have. All right, we have a few people. I can see that. And I'm going to take this off. I like to leave this up for a little bit just so hopefully it's easier to find later on. And oh, Marty and Dee are here. All right, how are things in New England? How are things up there? All right, so I think we're kind of gray down here in Delaware. Yesterday, we had kind of a nice day, and then in the afternoon, we had this like a rainstorm, and I don't know if it sleeted. I don't know. I just heard a bunch of stuff, and so today, just a little bit of a gray, rainy day. So I don't know. I heard it's supposed to get warmer, and I hope so. We'll see what happens. All right, let's see what's going on up there. Miriam's here. Welcome, Miriam. And Suze is here, and Francie. Let's see, and Lily's here. Uh, oh, huge snowstorm on the way in New England. That's what I thought. I think we're going to miss it down here. I'm mid-Atlantic, so we're going to kind of miss it there. And yeah, lots of weird weather right now. So, for those of you who don't know, this is Live with Janome. I'm Hein, embroidery software specialist, and today I'm doing a segment of my Easy Does It quilting, uh, quilting with your machine, your embroidery machine. I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. What's going on? So, anyways, quilting with your embroidery machine, and this is the fourth in our series. So we've done. There's three others, and I do have them organized now over on the Janome Artistic Digitizer Facebook page. So if you're a member over there, you can go over and see them in the guides. I've moved them near the top now. So they're like guide 4, I think. So you can find them easily. And this one will be over there as well. And anyone else can join there too. So today we're talking about creating our own edge to edge. Our last one we did was using a purchase design and how to work with a purchase design. And then we've done templates and I had basic information. So I've done 3 before this. And oh, Karen. So today will be our 4th one on creating edge to edge. We did edge to edge last time. So with a purchase design and how to work with it. So this time we're going to create our own and how we can work with it that way. So it's going to be all on software today. I'm not doing any samples with it. I'm just going to show you how to create them because we have done the placement last time, so it's pretty much the same. So we'll probably do a more hands-on with the machine on our next visit. Today we'll just be talking about creating them in the software. So if you have any questions, you can post them in the comments here. I'll answer them as I go. Miriam might answer them as well, or I'll come back later and answer them again. And oh, Karen, thank you. I really enjoyed going to Annie's Quilt Shop. And speaking of Annie's Quilt Shop, next week I will be at the Sew Expo in Puyallup. Dot and I will be making a debut there again. We haven't been there together in a little while. This weekend, Dot and another of our educators, Jerry, is at Mid-Atlantic Quilt Show at Hampton Roads. So I think that's what it's called, Hampton Roads. So if you're in those areas, pop by the Janome booth and say hello. And then we also have a show down in Daytona right now that Janome's at. And then, of course, QuiltCon I think it's in Atlanta. So we have a busy, busy weekend coming up. So if you're out and about in any of those areas, we're like from the mid-Atlantic down to Florida right now. We're covering the coast on this part. I'm starting it out up here, and we're going to cover from there. Well, I guess yesterday we had Celine got it from the very top. So we're going down the coastline today and handling all those areas. So if you're in those areas, head out to the quilt show, say hello to our friends in the Janome booth, check out what's new. Maybe you haven't seen the CM17, which is right there behind me, and you want to see it up close and personal, pop on by. All right. Oh, yeah, Miriam is saying yes, in Atlanta. And Dee, why don't you have an embroidery machine yet? You've got to get one. Let's see what else is up here. Weird weather, all's good. Greetings from the UK. Francie is in Miami. Oh, I guess the show is in Daytona. So I don't know geography, so I don't know how far apart those are, but you might want to check that out. All right, so as I said, we're going to talk about creating our own edge to edge, and I am going to open the software and go over that, and I'll watch my comments to see if you have any comments on that. So let me go here and get the software, and there we go. And I'll move this little thing out of the way and something over here. There we go. All right, so when you create an edge to edge, there's a couple different ways to do it, and I brought in a couple of things. I do have my Easy Does It Quilting Series folder, and in it I have creating edge to edge. Now I'm going to start here first in case you're new to edge, and I'm going to open this design. This is a purchase design, and an edge to edge starts on the same plane. Let me move this up so you can see. So it starts on the same plane that it ends on so that it could connect up, in case we didn't know that. And I'm going to duplicate this and then just show you it would connect right here. And I am out of the hoop, so we're not going to worry about that. So when you're quilting, you would align your next one right up here like that, and you could overlap it just a tad, just like that, on your machine. So it would look like it's continuous. Last month we did, and I think they re-showed it last week because I had a little glitch in the middle. So they redid last month's, but you can actually join these together if you have a hoop big enough to take those across. So you don't have to do just this little one. And I've used this design much larger and at this size, and you can like put two together so it'd be easy to link them up as you go across. So that's an edge to edge design. It looks seamless. It looks like you're having a long arm when you don't really have a long arm. So that's kind of nice. So in here, I have some creating edge to edge designs. And I'm going to start with this little design here, these flowers right here next to my funny little hippo. This came from a site called the Noun Project, Noun, Noun Project. And at the Noun Project, there's lots of icons. There's actually photos. There's icons of all kinds of things that you can download and use. You have to read about them. Most of them are free, but you want to check on all of that, the licensing of it, so you make sure you're using them properly. And then you can use them in many, many different ways. And I thought I would start with this one, and I never start with something super easy like maybe drawing this one over here, the scroll flower. We'll go to that afterwards. But I want to show you with this one. It is an SVG, so all I have to do is double click, and it opens right here, and it opens as stitches. Now, I wouldn't use it like this for quilting. I just really want it for my image. Okay, I really want it for an image. I don't want to quilt this, and I could select it. I could right click on it. Let's see if I do combine what happens. And then I could do convert fill to center line, turn it into a running stitch, and it's kind of on the way. Oh, let's change that to just a regular run line, be a little bit better. And it's not too bad. I mean, I could probably manipulate that into a design by changing a few things. But really what I wanted to do is just use that as my inspiration to draw my own design. Okay, and I'm actually going to leave it this size, I think, for drawing. And we're going to go over here and use our Digitize Outline Shape tool. But before we go there, what I want to show you is in your help files, under help topics, we can do a search, and I'm going to search Digitize tool. Let's see if it brings it up that way. And here we go, Digitize tools. So under your Digitize tools, you have an option of changing to I use the context menu. You can use the drawings, you can use the Janome Digitizer tool, the Elna Digitizer, or the Bezier tool. And down here, if you follow down here, it will go over how each of those tools work. So you may find one of these easier to work with than the other. And I stay in the context tool because a lot of times people don't know about this. So when I'm clicking and doing things, it's the same as what you would be doing. But you'll find some tools down here. So here's the context, and it talks about left and right clicking and the drawings mode, how that works, the Janome Digitizer mode, how that works, the Elna one, and the Bezier. So you have an option, you have those to look at. Now, read up on that, and then to change your tool, you would go under tools and then tool options. Now, I am on a Mac, so it's not here. And where I'm going to go is, let me look here for really quick. Yeah, I'm going to go under the artistic tab here and preferences on a Mac. And then, oh, it's tools and then, yeah, tool options. And then in here, if I go to tools, you'll find the context menu here. And so you can select the one you want. And then when you change it, I believe you may have to close and open your software. I'm not really sure. You have to double check on that. And then just click OK. And I've done other videos on that. So if you're on the Janome Artistic Digitizer page, you'll find that information. You can actually search for it there. If you put in hashtag digitize, you may find it, some videos on that where I talk about it and show you how the different ones work. The other thing is, under your digitize tool, you have outline shape, which works like this. I'm going to select it, and then when I left click, I'm getting curves. If I shift and click, I will get my corner nodes. And then when I get on top here, I can put it on top and it closes my shape. So that would be your outline shape. Your freehand shape is much like dragging a pencil on there. So if you're good at drawing, like Miriam is, you might draw something with this tool like this. I'm just going to draw this funky little flower that I do. Woo, like that. Sometimes when I am working at the long arm, I do this little design. Actually, this is not the design I do. I actually do this design. I'll show you. When I'm working at the long arm, I have to think about it now. Oh, yes, I go in like this, and then I come back out, and I make these little, it's like a cabbage flower or something like that. And then I come through there, and I may make some little loop-de-loos, and I'm actually on the long arm when I'm doing this. But I could turn this into an edge-to-edge design. You can change your smoothness level with that as well. Let's see here. The other thing is the magic wand tool is used for something else. So you have your freehand shape and your outline shape, and you can change your smoothness. So if I maybe put my smoothness at 30, and then I went here and I tried my little design again, click and go in, it might make it a little smoother for me once I click OK. And then I could come in here and I could just do these little loop-de-loos. And then I head over and I start another one. Maybe I do a little one. So when I'm at the long arm, I do these funky little things like this. There we go. And it is a little bit smoother than the other one, slightly. So you can see how those two tools work. So let me just delete this because we'll just get rid of this right now. I'll open the other one. I'll open this again. All right, so there it is. And I could make it larger. I'm going to go, whenever you're using those tools also, make sure when you're done that you go up here to select to turn it off. Or else, if I'm doing this and I get done, I might say end shape, and then I come over here to do something. Oh, I got my little thing going. Oh, I don't like it. You can hit escape to get out of it, but hit here. Also, if you're dragging your cursor, you get this, I don't know what this is called. I can't think of what it reminds me a little bit of the Bezier tool. So it gives you these nodes here, and I'm going to end shape these nodes when we select them. these nodes have these shaping arrows on them when you click. So you can pull out your lines or push in your lines like that. So that's when you are working in the outline shape tool and you're holding down your mouse and dragging, hold, drag, stop, hold, drag, stop. What I like to do is I just like to click and move, click and move, click and move, click and move. If I want a square one, I do shift and click, shift and click, shift and click. All right, you have to get used to how your mouse works, or if you're using your trackpad, how your I don't use my trackpad, so I can't really advise you on that. You have to read in your manual of your computer. If you go in and look, actually, usually I do a Google search on that so I can find it. All right, so let's just right click and do end shape so I can get rid of that. Go up here. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to go back to finding my design. All right, so what I'm going to do, and sometimes it takes me a little bit, but you can actually edit your work. I'm going to make this into an edge-to-edge design. I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to create my design, and I'm going to end up over here on that same line. Now, depending on, where I can move my design in this hoop, right? I can select it, I can move it up or move it down, wherever I want to move it to, I can do that. I can also use guidelines, and I'll show you some guidelines in a minute on how to do that. So let's go ahead. Here's my digitize outline shape. I'm going to start here. I'm just going to start out here. It doesn't matter. I can shorten this up later. And so I'm going to left click and come over here, and I'm going to left click right here. And I'm going to go down my little piece, and I want to do a square one here. And I think I want 2 round ones and a square, 2 curves and a square. So left click, shift, left click, left click, left click, shift, left click, shift, left click, shift. And that's how I'm getting my shape. And then when I get in here, I could come in here and do these like that, and then come back out like this. And maybe I want to loop around this. I might do a loop there to kind of get myself in line for this one. And I may do something like this. You are the designer, so you decide, which way you want to go on your piece. Now, when I get up here, like that, I may come back down, and then I may jump over here, and maybe I'll go in this direction. So, oops, let me do backspace or delete to take the one out I just had. And then I want 2 and 1 and 2 and oops, wrong ones, backspace, left click, shift click, left click, shift. There we go. And I'm just going to do this really quick. Backspace again. Talking and working sometimes is hard for me. Okay, there we go. And then again, I could come in here and come around like this and do, some kind of inside outside thing. I could whip back out here, and maybe I want to do this heart and come down in here. And then, if I want to travel, maybe I'm done right now and I want to travel down, I could make some loops out here. Oops, a loop. Let's backspace out of there. Let's backspace. Oops, Siri wants to talk to me now. All right, so we're going to go this way. Yes, I don't think so. Cancel, Siri. And then I want to stop on this line here because that's my line. And I'm going to hit end shape. I'm going to select that now, and I'm going to pull it to the side so we can see it. I'm going to bring it way over here out of my hoop because I don't want to be in the pink part. And then let's get off of there. So here's my little design, and I know Miriam's laughing now, like, oh my gosh, Anne. So I could come in now and I could fix this up a little bit. I could also bring in my guideline at this point too, and put a guideline here like that. So I know that I want to put these ends on the guideline. Okay, so I just clicked my guideline and then you click and drag to get it up here. So now I want to select this and I'm going to edit my nodes and maybe I need to, smooth it out. This flower kind of looked okay. I could just move any of these nodes and fix it. These little leaves didn't look so great. But when you're concentrating at home, and maybe this one I want to make it a smooth node, I could do that, or auto smooth. There we go. Make that more there. This one I might want to make auto smooth. There we go. And change it up a little bit like that. Bring this one here might need to be a line, so I can make it more straight in there. My heart looks a little weird. Let me just straighten it up like that. Okay. And maybe these little loop-de-loos need to be, nicer done. And you can actually, maybe I could do hearts there instead of these, and if I wanted to. And I would think about that a little bit more when I started doing them. And then of course this, I might want to bend it more like that. Maybe bring this down over here so it goes like that. Let's say okay. Now in here, my properties, I can do running. I can change my stitch width. All right. I'm going to wait for a moment. I think I lost you. So I'm restarting. I don't know if it restarted a new one. Let me see what's going on. Some days it was going so well. All right, I'll go back on. Let's see if people catch up. All right. Yeah, it froze. I think I'm back on. Let's see what happened here. I think I'm live again. Donna, do you hear me? Oh, good. I apologize. What happened? I'm not sure what happened. My video stopped, so I just restarted. So I'm just going to ask really quickly, where did I leave off? Had I put my guideline in? If I did, if I put my guideline in and you saw that, give me a thumbs up. And if not, oh, good. So then I showed you how I moved the design so that it's on here. Did I show you how I changed my nodes? Give me a yes or a thumbs up. Did you see that part where I showed you how I changed my nodes? Oh, I'd gone to properties was the last thing you saw. So in properties over here, you can change the stitch length. Okay, so we'll catch you up to that. And I did show it in slow redraw. And the reason for that is I do want it to start here and go in this direction. And if it doesn't, right here where it says mirror stitches, you can select along and it will change the direction. So let's see, I selected along it. Let's see if it goes the other way now. When I go to slow redraw, let's see where it starts. You can see already it's starting over here. And I think it's starting with the other, yeah, there we go. So it's going in the wrong direction. So if when you go to slow redraw and it doesn't start on your left side, it starts over here. Go to mirror stitches and select along. Mine was working fine with none. It does start on the left. Let's go back and look at it. You can see it's starting on the left and moving that way. All right. And we'll go back over here. Let me click off of this. So you can smooth out, like right here, I don't like that. You can work with your nodes and really make it look pretty. And then you could, do it across your quilt and down. So let me just show you, if I select this and I copy paste it and I move this over, I could attach it right here. And we'll go this way. And we're going to zoom in and look at the attachment. So I would have to move this over a little bit more. There we go. So when I was placing it on my quilt, let's back out, it would come down and do this kind of thing. Now, this might be one of those designs that when you start quilting it, I'm going to select both of these again and copy paste them. When you go to do your second row, you might want to move it over. You don't want to do it like this because you're going to get, oh, you get those little gaps in there, but you could do this and start the next one like this. So you you made a sort of a nested one and nested in there. Except I have it touching here, so I'd probably move it down a little bit. But see, you have control of all of this. You can view that design. I love that I can do that on my software. And usually what I do is I pull it all the way off to the side here. So I'm not on my hoop at all. And I can see what I'm doing without that pink in the way. So I could just work in this way. So you have an option of using a graphic to bring in and working with your graphic to make this the design you want. Maybe I'm going to delete this one down here, and I'm just going to move this aside. Maybe one of these things you really like, and you wanted to add one here before you went into, before you go to the next one. So maybe this would curl down, and you could take, let's go over here and look at this guy. And I'm going to cut this one off. I'm going to use my outline shape, and I'm just going to draw a line right there and shape. I'm going to select there, and then my shift and my piece, right click and knife. And now I could take this section and bring it over here. I don't have to draw it again because I'd be like, hey, I got to draw that. And then I could edit nodes, and I could actually maybe delete this node. There we go. And I could just make this come a little bit like that. And let's turn this around a little. Maybe I want to rotate it. Let's get it bigger. Rotate it and put it here. And then this would be, well, I rotate it a little bit more. So see how you can work with this? It would be so much fun to create your own. And then this could be the one that comes up to the line. So this part here, I have to join it. So I would take this one and shift and that one. And then I would do combine. And then right here, I'd go back to edit nodes, put my cursor on there and say join nodes. So now I have that. I could change that to an auto smooth. And I have this little thing coming down here, and that one should meet up with my other one. Let me go back to this. There you go. So I could play around with it like that. I didn't have to redraw it. I could just take pieces off the other one and fix it. So I'm going to go back to my browser because I have, this one here is one of the ones I played with. And you can see I brought in my line, and then I drew it up here. I made those leaves. Let me get in close so you can see. I did them a little differently here. I didn't go up and down. I kind of went around this way, made a loop, and came around to my piece. So you can kind of play around with that. I started on the top part and went down here, only once around. And I went once around and out, so I just made a cross. And you can cross your stitches. If you look at some of the designs you purchase, they are like that. You can do that. Now this one has a little hump here where I joined them together. They might not be permanently joined. Let's see what's going. Yeah, they're not joined together. But let's see, when I select edit stitches, go up here to auto, and then let me click off of here and click back on. There we go. So I can see which way my stitches are going on the second one. And look at that, they're coming back this way. I don't want them going in that direction. So I'm going to select this. I would select that one and go to along. Let's go back to stitches. There they go. Now they're going the other way. This one might be the same way. This one is going in the wrong direction. And I'm going to go back and show you how I found that. So let me do undo, 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 undo. Okay, here we go. So what happens is when you're looking at your piece, all right, you can go watch it in slow redraw, okay? You can also select it and then come up here to auto, so it goes to manual, and then go to edit stitches. And then look in close, you'll see the stitch arrows. And see how they're going they're going back that way. That's not the direction I want to go. So if I go over here to mirror stitches and along, it should turn them, or maybe it's across. You have to, oh, maybe I have to go to select and go to along. Click off of it, click back on. Let's see what happens. There they are. So now they're going back the other way. The trick to get to see your edit stitches is to make sure you are in manual up here. You have to click on auto to get manual. All right, and let me see if there's something else. I showed you how to combine two. Let me show you one other thing you could try. There's lots of things out there. These are coloring book pieces. You could work with those. This is a fabric. Maybe you like this fabric. You could open it as a backdrop and select OK. If you need it to be bigger, under File and Design, no, not Design Properties, I always forget, it's under View and Backdrop and Properties. So I can make my backdrop bigger. Let's move it over here. So I have something bigger to work with. I can just move it here. Or if I need to turn it, I could turn it as well because I want to work in this direction. All right, and then I'm going to do OK. So now again, I would take my outline shape, and these give me these cool little shapes that I might want to start on this side with. And maybe I'm going to go around like this. It gives me a jumping off part so that I can create with a line behind me, because sometimes I can't draw without something there. And then, you know, maybe this one's going to go in this direction. I don't know. You could do other things with it. So you can create your swirls and things. I'm going to bring it down here so you can show it. You can create your parts using a fabric as a inspiration. The other fabric I had was this one, and this one's a little more challenging, I think. This is these are flowers, so maybe I like the leaves in here, or maybe I want to do something with the flower, so I could use that. But maybe something in your quilt is drawing you out. So take a picture of that and bring it in, and you can bring it into your quilting, and then it would match your quilt. So there's a lot of things that you could do with this, of where you can get your pieces to work with. If you wanted to do something where you use the text tool, I've already played with this one, so I don't think it's going to show in the text tool. It still shows. You can put in a text, and you could use that as your image to draw on if you wanted to sign your quilt, or you can just freehand sign your quilt. I was kind of playing with this one, and I was thinking, you know, if I came in like this, I could go up here and then down like this and over. And maybe I would want to loop here and come back and then start my N. If these look like N's, go to my E. And then, you know, I could end up here somewhere, and I could do that little spiral that I love so much. It's like a popcorn flower. Oh, maybe I have to do my little, hang on, I gotta do a curve and a point and a point and a curve and a point, point, curve, point. and then I could end up here. So let's look at that. It's a little sloppy, but there we go. And I could quilt that onto my quilt. All right, so there are ways to, let me make sure this is working because I think we're still on. Yep, we are. Okay. So hopefully we still have people out there. All right, so I'm going to go back to the camera and see if there's any questions that I can answer. Oh, good, we have some. All right, I think I covered, let me look at my list because I want to make sure, you know, you could, like I said, you could bring in a graphic. You could convert your graphics to embroidery and work from there. You can make them, you can even make them like a redwork design and then pull your redwork design apart and use that. So there's a lot of different ways to create your own, but you do very simple things. If you have a block on your quilt or maybe you're doing a border and you want something to be specific for that border. So you've measured across and your border's like, I don't know, something easy. Let's say it's 60 wide and it's 5 high. So maybe you want something and you have to look at your hoop size at that. So if it's 60, you know, maybe you want it at 10 long or less than that and then 5 high. So create a box that's 10 by 5. Make your piece fit in there first and then you can take it to your quilt. So there's lots of ways to look at it. You can just draw it out. You can use your quilt for inspiration. You can use fabric, something you see. One of the great places I find a lot of inspiration are hotel rugs, wallpaper, and sometimes drapery. So, I mean, I think Miriam and I've done that too, where we've taken pictures of the floor. Oh, this is cool. I mean, I toured in Portland. I toured the Chinese Garden in downtown, and they had beautiful stonework, and I loved the shapes of them. So I was always taking all these pictures, and my son kept asking me, why are you taking that? I said, I like that. That inspires me. I could make an embroidery out of that. I can make a quilting design. So a lot of things, the shapes that are out there, you don't have to think of them in your head. You can use something that's out there, which I think is good. Some of us can draw what's right on our mind. We can just put it on paper. And some of us need a little extra help with that. I can draw a 70s flower. That's me. I'm good with that. And a few other things. So, all right. I think that's everything I have for you today. So check back tomorrow. What am I doing tomorrow? Oh, what is today? Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow I will be doing, I forgot what I'm doing. Oh, I know. Zipper pouch of the month. Yay. It'll be number 2 of our zipper pouch of the month. So pop in tomorrow for that. And then Friday over on the Continental page, we have someone doing something over there. It's not me. I can't remember who it is there. And then next week, I may have some fun things for you. I don't know if you noticed, I did some posting over the weekend. I was at KatsuCon in Maryland down at National Harbor, and that's a huge cosplay con. And so I dressed up every day. Oh, hang on. Don't go away. I'm going to get something really quick. I keep this at my desk now. I dressed up as Jane from Daria and Jane. I think you remember us being Daria and Jane. So now I have a little chair at my desk, and I keep my little Daria right there. Whoops! Sorry, Daria, I threw you on the floor. But I keep my little Daria on her little chair at my desk so I can see her all the time. I had her in my pocket when I wore that. And of course, the scandalous Lolita, the embroidery diva, was there as well. And I was Wednesday Addams on Friday. So, all right, they're lots of fun. If you ever get to go to a cosplay show, just even go to the hotel and hang out. I mean, there's so much to see and it's so cool. All right, I'm going to let everyone go and get on with their Wednesday. And I will see you tomorrow, same place, same time, but we're going to be doing the zipper pouch of the month. So see you then, everyone. Bye for now.